Stop! Yeah, put your jaw on the curb. Now say goodnight. Oh, welcome tactical aficionados. I am Damian Darko and you are watching Band State Tactical, where it's not illegal if you don't get caught. Well, you saw the thumbnail. We're going to be running the double barrel shotgun Elmer Fudd special, although technically you could call this an Elmer Feg. Alright, so this particular shotgun is called a Feg, F-E-G. That's literally the name of the company. It's made in Hungary, Budapest, and you're not going to find this thing. I can't even tell you what I had to go through to stumble upon this, God, anachronistic little shotgun, which used to be a hunting gun until somebody chopped off the barrel during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Back it open?
Sure. Oh, quick thing about this. This barrel, I had a gunsmith measure it out, comes to just about exactly 18 inches. Please do not cut them that short. This is legal. It's just sneaking in there. So you would usually want to leave yourself about 18 and a half just to be on the safe side. You cannot have a shotgun with a barrel under 18 inches. It's this close to being a short barrel. It's very close to that. So this is a over-under style. It's gonna cock that and whoa, those are dummy rounds. It just shoots those out right down the barrel of that thing. Since this has ejectors rather than your typical extractors, they used to be more common. They aren't so much now. This is kind of a review more on double barrels as a genre, since you're not likely to find this particular one, and every one is going to have features which are a little bit different. This one has ejectors, some just have regular extractors, sometimes they have nothing, you have to dig them out. This one has a selector switch here on the trigger, which lets you choose which barrel is going to fire. And every time I close this thing, so I'll demonstrate with the dummies here, every time I close this thing, it re-engages the safety. Not a bad, you know, option for bird hunting. Those are those firing pins. Also good to use, dummy rounds to release your firing pins without having to dry fire. It'll kind of take tension off the system in there. You don't like to leave lots of spring contention inside these systems for a long time. So obviously we can't fire this thing here. This is leagues more powerful than anything we've ever reviewed on the show before. Last time we did the Henry 22 Golden Boy. That was a 22 long rifle. This thing, I think, is gonna blow that out of the water. Don't even compare it to any of the air guns we normally do. We're gonna have to go straight to Site B. See you there. All right, well, welcome back to Site B, where we're going to be doing our actual shooting today. Man, I hope the helicopter's in here for us. And since we did try out our watermelon last time with the 22 Henry long rifle, I thought I'd see how many shots it took from a 12 gauge rather than a 22 to obliterate our bloater zombie variant. Ugh, disgusting. Anyway, I'll load up dose. I do not know if we're actually going to need them.
Safety first.
Safety first. And of course, this thing does re-engage the safety every time it's open, which is a good thing for a hunting scenario. I don't know about the 3 a.m. challenge, though. Woo! Okay! Woo! 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 So I think, just maybe, we can perhaps rate this a bit higher on the power scale than some of our previous entries. Do you think we should crack out the Steamboat Stinger 2 and see what it does to the watermelon? Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Whew, shit. So unlike other reviews we've brought to you, there's not a whole hell of a lot we could learn about this particular item other than some little nitty-gritties. I mean, it does what it does. I mean, we all know what it does. It's a double-barrel shotgun. We've all played video games before, and it works exactly like that. If you aim this down a hallway, you don't even need to aim. It just hits everything in the hallway like a mortar strike. That's how shotguns work. Although if you're not completely up close to them, none of your enemies will take damage. So I've been told. So we have, where did I put it? Ah, the Devil Seltzer Pomegranate. I'm gonna put that bad boy down for a minute. Maybe we'll do a couple of shots. Maybe throw in a tactical reload, see how well that goes. Oops, Mr. Watermelon. I'm gonna have to stagger them just so that the force of each of these blowing up doesn't just knock everything else over. Even then, I'm not sure. Put one back here. It is definitely possible I will strike multiple. I'm going to be relatively close because we are talking home defense distances here. So I have 2 shells in my pocket. I'll have 2 in the firearm. We'll see how quickly I can get a reload off. Of course, as I talked about before, this thing does have ejectors rather than your typical extractors, so at least that is going to be quick. Although it does re-engage the safety every time. Also, if I don't move this little tab right here into the right position, it just fires both barrels at the same time. So that should be this one right here. You have to readjust it to that side, because if it's on this side, it just fires both barrels. So basically, after I unload this thing, load it back up, you have to flip that tab back, then remove the safety. It's kind of an arduous process if you're not used to it. All right, let's see. I'll back up a little bit just so we're not completely cheating.
Staggered opponents.
Staggered opponents, let's see.
2 shots. Beyond.
Oh, well, I got both of them that time. Oh, missed one, oh no. Out you go.
He's coming at you.
Coming at me.
You gotta reload faster than that.
Oh, one on the ground. Oh, missed him, but he did still have a pellet in him. Mm-hmm. Oh. Another little thing to mention is that because these barrels are stacked on top of each other, and this would also be a matter in side to side, they're off just a little bit. And as you might have noticed at this distance, you don't get a lot of spread. It just hits as one impact. Now, granted, if you're aiming at center mass of a target, even the difference between the sizes of these cans doesn't matter. So you're gonna hit a zombie-sized adversary one way or another. We certainly didn't have trouble hitting the watermelon. See, that's a little flyer there. Still managed to nick this guy. Ugh. Remember me as I was. Ugh. Yeah,
he will be remembered as the Devil Seltzer.
Devil Seltzer. Ugh.
Yeah, now I have to go pick that up.
Shit. Gonna put Greta back in there.
How dare you?
How dare you?
So what are we doing now?
Now we got our basic zombie. We might as well try it out. Mr. Cantaloupe. Little bit squishy. I think I know what the outcome's gonna be. You know what? We've already tried some buckshot. How about some birdshot? Let's see how that does. Why not? We have some. Can it survive that? Or I'll try some birdshot and then some buckshot if that doesn't work. These are just basic clay shot. I wouldn't really use these in a home defense situation, but this is a squishier target, so let's just find out what happens. All right, we don't have a poultry, guys, but we're still gonna try out our birdshot. Oh! Not much left there. Hey, get the little piece. No, I freaking went over that. As you saw, even with birdshot, at these very close distances, there's not much of a spread. You can still go right over that thing. So the myth of you don't have to aim down the whole way, it is certainly busted as of today. I think we have something special. So we got a special target out here today. Got the Shattered Laugh brand hair gel. There you go. Yeah, definitely don't want to use a lot of this stuff. Our unofficial sponsor, Harambe, on the cover there, God rest his soul. And we're going to be trying out something a little different. This is what looks like a copper-plated rifled slug. See how this bad boy works. See if I hit anything. I might back up a little more.
This thing's more like a blunderbuss than an aiming weapon. What was that?
That hit it, but I don't know what it did. Woo! Bad boys go flying there. Ooh, I can smell it on the air. I think it vaporized rather than actually...
Explode?
Oh, God. What the is that? There's something on my tongue. I can't breathe.
Give it a little huck to it.
Oh, I'm out of spit. Hold on. The devil's seltzer. I didn't mean to say that about you. Come on. Oh, pomegranate. Yo, man.
Going for a good one.
That's what happens. Well, y'all spend your whole life working for the Krusty Krab for minimum wage. Uh-oh.
All right, water.
Welcome, tactical aficionados, to the Tales of the Tape, where we will be judging today's weapon on 6 varied criteria. And because why the hell not, we're going to go in ascending order, lowest to highest. Now, you might think that with the double-barrel shotgun that the lowest category would include the ammo reload, but no, it's actually the availability. Remember, this is actually a firearm, and even though it's a firearm that is not particularly targeted by any legislation, you are still going to have to pass a federal background check. That means we have to place its availability at the lowest possible position, at 1. Speaking of that ammo reload, well, it's a double-barrel shotgun. What exactly can you expect from it? You might expect me to give it a 2, being that it holds indeed 2 shells, but I'm actually going to surprise you here. I'm going to give it a 2.5. Why the extra 5 points on there? Well, 0.5 points. Well, it's because ammo reload is kind of a combined category, and the reload is pretty good on this one. In fact, reloads on most double barrels are pretty decent, especially compared to something like the Elmer Javelin that you basically have to muzzle load with a rickety arrow. But this one actually has ejectors rather than extractors, which really do huck to your shells right out of the way, so you can cram some new ones in there. Granted, I wasn't rushing on the range because I'm trying to be at least nominally safe, but you can get pretty well practiced with this thing. Speaking of well practiced, let's talk about a kind of middling category, which is the ease of use. I had a couple of personal hang-ups with this weapon. I think a lot of that is me, possibly combined with some misinformation I was given from the gunsmith that worked on this. I don't think I actually need to move that selector switch from the left position in order to fire both barrels in sequence rather than at once, since it was definitely dry firing. I believe it was the bottom barrel first. That means that I actually made things more complicated for myself, which you might have seen on camera a couple times. With that in mind, it basically means the only thing you really got to do that might hang you up is reposition the safety every time that you open this thing to reload it, because the safety will automatically engage. So if the select fire isn't really an issue, and the only thing you have to worry about is the safety and just the basic breaking open and loading of the thing, it's really not all that bad. I'm going to give its ease of use a 3.5 out of 5. Now we're getting to categories where this thing starts to really shine. Let's go to the price. So not counting a little bit of work I had with the gunsmith, this thing basically came out to $300. It didn't have a front sight when I bought it, so that definitely kept its price a little bit lower. I threw it on there for about $12 on Amazon. That's a negligible amount of money. I saw a couple double barrels for $400, $450. On really lucky occasions, I've seen them as low as maybe $200. That's extremely uncommon though. A $300 double barrel shotgun that can do everything that this one did today, even with a few of its quirks and the need of a new sight, well, I'm just going to have to go ahead and give that a 5 out of 5. Remember, those rankings of price are based also on the utility of what you can do with this thing, and not only is it a decent home defense weapon in a pinch. I mean, you can take birds out of the sky, you can take drones out of the sky, you can load a buckshot, you can go through a car door with a slug. Not that you should do that, but you could. I mean, it basically is, as my friend pointed out, a modern day blunderbuss, and it's got the power to back it up. Now, onto the intimidation. And of course, this is always a bit of a subjective field, but I think with this one, we've never been less subjective. Some of the weapons that we feature on this show can leave a home intruder kind of scratching their head for a moment. Not this one. This thing is basically a meme. We call this the Elmer Fudd for home defense review, and that's exactly what it is. And the thing is, everybody who's either handled or even just been exposed to pop culture surrounding double barrel shotguns knows exactly what they're in for. And you might think that that might give a home intruder some confidence, being that, oh, I know there's only 2 shots at it. No, no, no. That's not really the case, unless you got some sort of highly trained SWAT team of zombies coming through your door. Anybody who sees this thing is going to absolutely crap a brick. We all know exactly what it can do, and that's why I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Now, on to the last category, the lethality. Well, Jesus Christ on a pogo stick, what do you think that's going to be? Do you think it's going to be a 5 out of 5? No. Okay. So up until this point, the only weapon that's received a 5 out of 5 for lethality has actually been a handheld weapon, a melee, and that was the Zombie Tools Deuce 2, which absolutely destroys everything that you can get in range with it. I mean, okay, it's not quite a lightsaber, but it sure beats the hell out of trees. That thing got a 5 out of 5, and it was well deserved, though, of course, that was a $600 sword. Twice the price of this shotgun. So what does this thing get for lethality? Well, do we have to check the watermelon footage again? Whew. I'm going to do something we've never done in this show, and that is award bonus points. It's not getting a 5 out of 5. If the 22 can get a, I think, well-deserved 4.5 out of 5, this thing's just going to get bumped up to a 6. Yeah, that's right, a 6 out of 5. I don't know exactly how we would get an objective scale for all the different firearms, being that this is not primarily a firearms channel, but this thing absolutely destroys everything in front of it. It is the Doom double barrel. This thing rips and tears. It's the Obliterator, folks. We all know that. Nothing even comes close. The watermelon was taken into some other dimension. So I'm going to give this a total score of 23 out of 30. 23 out of 30 is pretty good considering that the availability had to be set at 1 and that the thing only has a maximum ammo of 2, which I bumped up to a 2.5 in the score due to its decent reload. Considering what this weapon had working against it, the fact that it could still get this high means that it is undoubtedly tactical possum approved. If you can pass that background check, grabbing yourself a double barrel, especially if you can get it for $300, is absolutely worth your time and money. Although I don't think it's the perfect shotgun to use for home defense in bad states, and we're going to get back to that possibly in a future review. Well, Mr. Watermelon sure found out today, didn't he? Geez, this thing is an absolute powerhouse, a little bit finicky in its order of operations, and it's fairly affordable, although, of course, your mileage may vary. But let's say you needed something a little bit smaller. Well, tune in next time where we get around all sorts of ridiculous Massachusetts laws with the Pieta Black Powder Pepper Box Revolver. Check it out right here on Band State Tactical, where it's not illegal if you don't get caught.